Good morning, KMMA tribe, friends and family, students, and all you shiny, happy people. Shihan Stephen del Castillo of Krav Maga Martial Arts coming to you here today, and it's going to be a great day. Hey, before I get started on the actual message today, I want to put a shout out to my friend Robbie Thomas. I hadn't seen him in a few years. He's a student, he's a friend, he's a great man, and we did something that I hardly ever do. We ate breakfast together just now. Breakfast is the thing I hardly ever do, but I really enjoyed catching up with him and looking forward to getting him and Rainey back in here training again. And we had some great fellowship and talk on things this morning. And uh, I was driving in from there to here, thinking, okay, what do I want to record about today? Because truth is, it wasn't like I didn't know what to say. It was like I had to select because there's been 3 or 4 meditations I've had over the last couple of days. I was like, which one am I going to talk on? It's going to be a little bit of a combination, but something that Robbie asked me ties to this. Uh, Helped me choose, and that was he said, do you ever still get angry, like in just the kind of anger where like somebody cuts you off in traffic and you're like feeling aggressively angry over it and this and that, and the answer is yes, but the answer is also, but I get those emotions under control very, very quickly. So this is what led to the first thing I really want to talk to you about today. Rather, we're talking about dealing with the emotion of anger, which, of course, for men like Robbie and I, is something that comes very naturally and is something we had to learn to control. Uh, or rather, we're talking about something that doesn't come to me as naturally as perhaps it does to you, or it does to some people I know for sure, like anxiety. Whatever the emotion is that is getting control of you, the answer to Robbie's question, rather I am overcoming adversity because I do still sometimes, overcoming anxiety because sometimes, of course, I still deal with that, or the anger emotion. Whatever the emotion is, the difference is the amount of time that it takes to recover. See, as a younger man, decades ago, and thousands and thousands of pages of books and hundreds of hours of study and many, many repetitions of practice ago. The problem is that either of those things, anger, anxiety, fear, uh, and any other of the many emotions that can reap turmoil in our life, used to affect me longer. The difference with the training isn't that the things never appear anymore before, but it's that you get over them much, much quicker. We know that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we react to what happens. We know that between stimulus and response, there is always a space. And it's in that space that makes all the difference. Well, what has happened is I can feel the anger come up, and within seconds, I can get it under control. I can begin to feel myself get anxious about something, and within minutes, I can talk to myself in a way that gets it under control. This is what we train for. It's not that all of a sudden the things go away, because there always will be the war within the mind. The mastery comes from mastering the mind, mastering the thoughts, and mastering the emotions to get under control. And then the second thing I want to talk about today comes from yesterday. I was teaching the basic training class here at the dojo, and I just noticed because all of our classes are family classes, so we have adults standing in one place, kids standing in the middle, like older kids, and towards teens, and then the youngest kids. And so maybe 2/3 of the floor may be at this given moment in time in the story, maybe kids versus adults. And we're doing the student creed. And as we're doing the student creed, I was looking over, and there was a couple of newer adults who weren't participating. And being a little empathic, it was evident to me right away that what it was they thought that it was silly. They thought, or they were embarrassed to participate. And it led to this meditation I want to share today. And I told them as much, by the way. What I am about to tell you, I told them. I said, years ago, I used to teach the Krav Maga self-protection piece only to the adults. And I used to teach the leadership and character development and stuff like our student creed only to the kids. And it was because of two erroneous thoughts, right? Like the Krav Maga, I thought that was just too practical and effective and efficient, i.e., too violent to teach the kids. So, of course, we control the way we teach it, but we do teach Krav Maga now. We do teach the most practical self-defense to all ages. But the more erroneous mistake was this, that I didn't think that the adults cared about or needed the affirmations, the visualization, the leadership and character training. And so we didn't do things like the student creed. And how wrong was that? You know, if adults didn't care about things like leadership and about becoming better and higher versions of themselves, then what the heck are people like Tony Robbins and the other great uh, motivational and inspirational teachers? Uh, those guys got rich teaching the same things to people. And when we do our student creed, in particular, we do our creed in a very animated way as well. So, in addition to the affirmations, because by the way, an affirmation is when you say "I am" and you follow it by anything, right? So, in our Black Belt Creed, for example, at the end of the class, when we say "I am a dedicated student of the martial arts and I live by the principles of Black Belt, courtesy, modesty, integrity, perseverance," all these things, right? At the beginning, where we say "I will develop myself in a positive manner and avoid anything that can reduce my mental growth or physical health," right? And it goes on. These are affirmations. And when you do them in the powerful way where you're doing the movements along with the thing like we do, that's what Tony Robbins calls getting in state, because our physiology controls our emotion and our emotion controls our action and our action controls our results. It's all kid stuff. I do, by the way, the last thing I'm going to share this morning is if you've never heard of The Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, I recommend that book. And in it, he talks about the savers. And the savers, the S stands for silence, which is meditation or prayer. And the A stands for affirmations. Imagine that. And the V for visualization, the E for exercise, the R for reading, and the S for scribing, which of course is writing. The act of journaling. More kid stuff. I'm, of course, being facetious by continuing to call the stuff kid stuff, but I can tell you most people don't do this stuff because they don't understand how powerful this stuff really is. I want to start making some really, really powerful changes in your life by making some powerful changes in your mind and the way you can control your emotions and the trajectory of your action and reaction, the things that actually create our realities in life. Well, the way you do that is through doing these things: affirmations, visualization, journaling. Powerful, powerful things, not just kid stuff. Prepare to live, empower to lead. See you soon. I'm Shihan Steve, Krav Maga Martial Arts.